Mr. Vardanyan. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Sergey. I wanna start with a question. How many of you know any psychedelics? Those will be LSD, psilocybin, MDMA, ketamine. Okay, great. How many of you know about the therapeutic effect of psychedelics? Okay, great. Well, I knew nothing about psychedelics as well, and I had a family member, close family member, who was struggling with the complex PTSD for many years. And unfortunately, the traditional therapies, talk therapy, all kinds of therapies didn't help. We also tried medications, SSRIs, SNRIs. Nothing seemed to help my family member. And one day I read an article where the American veterans were visiting Latin America, doing psychedelic treatments and getting better. And we got intrigued, and this was a beginning of a journey of a deep healing, as a result of which my family member is healed from a PTSD. She's fully functional and a happy person. In 2020, as you know, Azerbaijan and Turkey brutally attacked Armenia, and as a result of that, we have 25,000 people struggling from PTSD. And seeing the relief of my family member, I used to live in the United States, we decided to move to Armenia to establish a non-profit foundation with the aim of bringing these healing modalities to the people of Armenia. And the Anti-Bliss Healthcare Foundation was created. I want to talk a little bit about the PTSD. It is known that 6 to 10% of the population worldwide will develop a PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, during their lifetime. This is a terribly high number, and 2/3 of the population do not react on the traditional medications, unfortunately. PTSD is a common and debilitating condition with immense social and economic costs that affect the lives of hundreds of millions of people around the world. And because of this, the Multidisciplinary Association of Psychedelic Studies, which is an US organization, started the clinical trials, FDA-approved clinical trials back in 2017. These trials are over and submitted to the FDA, and the results are so tremendous that it is expected that by 2024, MDMA will be legally available prescription medication in United States, FDA approved. If no one knows about MDMA is an active molecule of the street drug called ecstasy. And little bit about the trial. If you look at this room, it's like a cozy bedroom. It's nothing like the medical setting where you want to have this nice place where a patient lays down on a couch. There are two therapists working with the patient. This trial was conducted in a specific protocol where patients were administered 3 times this medication over the course of 3 months, and they were combined with the 12 therapy sessions. It is very important to mention that this is a MDMA-assisted therapy, not just MDMA, because therapeutic work is extremely important for the progress. I want to talk a little bit about the neurology as well. As we know, PTSD patients have a very active amygdala. Amygdala, this is a part of the brain that is responsible for the fight and flight syndrome. For these people, the world is a dangerous place. They have a lot of anxiety, they have self-guilt and all kinds of negative aspects. However, when they take the MDMA, it seems like that the activity of amygdala is really decreasing. And also what is happening, two major hormones, serotonin and oxytocin, which is what others call a love hormone, is produced significantly in the body, which allows the person to visit the traumatic event, but from a different angle, kind of switching the camera and looking into the trauma, not from the place of the shame or a guilt that this was my fault that I became a victim of a rape. This was my fault that my friends died and I survived. But the opposite. Little bit about the results of the trials. 67% no longer meet requirements for the PTSD diagnosis. This is just after 3 sessions. And we are talking about the PTSD patients who struggle 20-25 in average years. So these are mostly resistant patient population. And 80% reported significantly decreasing their symptoms. Because this is a trial, it's just 3, you cannot adjust it to give them 4 or 5. But once this is approved, those people who get significant relief, maybe perhaps on 4th or 5th drug session will get much better. It is also important to talk about the risks, because this is a controlled substance now at this moment. As the FDA said, as the regulator says, it doesn't have a medical use and it has a high potential for abuse. However, during the trials with the less than 1,000 people, no serious adverse events were met. They were suicidal attempts, however, these were from a placebo group, because people are expecting to get healed. These are people with a long history of PTSD, and without getting a release, this was very difficult for them. No cardiovascular issues, and also what is the biggest concern of the regulator is the addiction. Do people get addicted to these substances? And none of the participants, we're talking about later on 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year checkups, no one became addicted to these substances. There is lots of good material out there. The Nature magazine gave a wonderful article, Scientific America. These are the resources that you can find and dig deeper if you are interested in the topic. And the Science magazine gave the Breakthrough of the Year award to the MDMA therapy. Currently, MDMA in Armenia is a scheduled substance, and our goal at Theoblis, the organization that I'm representing, is to turn these medications into prescription, legally available for our population. Since the trials are finished in United States, the FDA trials, and hopefully next year they will be legally approved, we will basically take the dossier and present it to the regulator for the registration. Thank you, and if we have a little bit time, I'll be happy to take questions.
Thank you, Mr. I think we're probably going to finish with all the presentations and then the question and answer. But yeah, thank you, and I'm proud to say that I'm actually a board member of this organization that Sergey talked about. I hope they're really very strong data, emerging data about use of psychedelics, not only PTSD but even other psychiatric diagnoses. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we have next presenter, Dr. Vardanyan. I unfortunately don't know Dr. Vardanyan in person, so I'm not sure if